Hello everybody and welcome back to another voiceover for Gran Turismo 4. In this episode we are doing yet again another endurance event in the form of, if we can scroll down to it, not any of these that I was thinking of. If we scroll back up, what's it called, we'll see the one that I was actually going to do, the Super Speedway 150 miles. This is a very interesting type of endurance event, more so in the fact that it's not because it's a difficult track, but more so because it is a very consistency-based event, I'd say. This track requires you to basically just drive in just a circle, pretty much. If you've seen NASCAR, you understand what kind of track this is, right? But the difficulty I think from this one comes from the fact that you're kind of slowly wearing down your tires, which makes it more difficult to control, obviously. And I think on a track like this, you want to be as fast and consistent as possible, which requires the best kind of tire wear. And yeah, it requires you to basically kind of be on your, be able to put in your best performance. And with tires are wearing down and kind of like getting beaten up like this, it's kind of difficult to do so. So I think that's where the difficulty of this event comes from. But to start off, just to kind of show you what the basic plan was, at least for when I was driving it. Just basically pedal to the metal all the time, just constantly holding the gas, ride the wall if I had to, when I knew I wouldn't make a turn. Pretty much just not really trying to like drive cleanly or something like that. Very much just trying to get as much time in as possible before the Beast Big driver took over. I'd say also it very much is, this is very much an interesting one because this is also very much on the shorter end of the endurance event spectrum. It's not very much, what's it called? It's not very, like, long. It is very much a shorter one. It's, excuse me. I think legitimately like a quarter of the event was done by the lap 25 came around at like I want to say lap 25 came around like I don't remember exactly when it came around, but it was very much like, this is very much not a long event. This was a very much shorter one. I think it was like a minute 40. I think it was when lap 25 came around. I want to say, or I don't know. That's the thing. I can't remember off the top of my head what I decided to record and what I decided to go ahead and just skip. Just mainly because you know, I don't really like pay attention too much to what's it called? I didn't really be paying attention much to like time specifically, so I just kind of. It was more so lap count, I'd say, just kind of what I chose to record. So I focused way more on like what laps I was doing rather than like the total time that you see in the top right. So obviously I'm not going to really be paying attention to that much, but if I remember correctly, it was like minute 40, or it was like, if we're going based on like rough times, it was probably something like minute, let me see. 30 seconds for a lap. 30 seconds for a lap would be like, so lap 25, like 8.5 minutes probably. Lap 25 was around like 8.5 minutes. This is I think if anything, that just kind of shows how short this track is, or how short this endurance event is in terms of like, what's it called? In terms of actually getting it done, mainly just because it's you know, it's short. It's like not very long. You know, it's hold on a second. I'll be right back with the voiceover whenever I can actually record clearly without my dog barking in the background. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back. But yeah, like I was saying, let me see. Yeah, this is a very short endurance event, not that long. Let's see. Somehow I managed to get more footage of this event than the last one, El Capitan, mainly just because think just the time to get to the first pit stop was longer. I want to say, I don't really know for sure. Let me see here. So the main thing here was mainly just that I wanted to get as much time as possible. So that way when my B-Spec driver switched in, he wouldn't have to worry that much about having to gain time. But yeah, it's pretty easy to gain time just because this thing is the Minolta's a very fast car, probably like the fastest in the game. Like I think it is the fastest. If it's not this, then it's the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak. But even then, I think that was I don't think that's the fastest. I think that's the second fastest in the game. But yeah, so not too much to really talk about here in terms of like the strategy or the what would you call it, like game plan here for what to do with the track. It's very much just kind of drive as fast as possible and hope that you manage to actually get ahead. But even then, it was very easy to actually just gain time and just kind of stay ahead, really. It wasn't that difficult. I'd say the hardest part was mainly just the B-Spec driver had to kind of adjust to everything here. But I guess the most interesting thing about this event is that there's no like stock cars in the game like NASCARs or like, you know, just like cars that you expect to see on a track like that's an oval shape and stuff like that, right? It's a lot of LM race cars, which is like very weird to see on a track like this, but it's something you gotta expect. Because Gran Turismo 4 didn't have NASCARs, they added that in the literal next game. Anyways, the Sauber, I think is what it was called, that ruined some momentum I could have had there, but it's not like it really matters because I just literally lapped them. Let me see. I also think for this race I found out another like very good thing to do, which was use R1 tires, otherwise known as super hard tires, because I think the key here was just endurance, really. Yeah, go figure, endurance events. You could just endure for as long as possible. No, but actually like the tires are like probably the most important parts of these events, I'm not gonna lie. You really need to just make sure you pick the best tire compound that can like give you the best endurance, really. And super hard to like that tire, really. It's like it's gonna be your tire of choice if you need to like really get like a lot of laps out of it, a lot of distance out of it. It's very good tire. Going into lap 20, I think this is around the time when the tires started to become a bit uncontrollable. I don't know exactly when they became like to a point where I actually had to pit. But yeah, it's very much like these tires lasted pretty much a lot of the race, like a quarter of the race, just off one set of tires, which is very much what you wanted to go for these events. Nothing that can like shred too fast or like. I think I made it like a quarter of the way through the race before I decided to go ahead and stop the pit. I guess my estimations from earlier about the amount of time it take to get through a quarter of the race was wrong, really. It's more like 11.5 minutes, really, estimate. I guess it doesn't matter too much. Anyways, I don't know exactly when I decided to go into here. Because this track is very easy to just wall ride and kind of get away with it. As I'm sure you can imagine, there's a lot of straights, a lot of straights. The turns are very big, so you can get away with wall riding a lot. If you just like kind of turn into the wall. Just hope you don't get hit by it, really. It's not that difficult. That's perfect for me because I do not want to get into like very difficult races or very difficult tracks to actually like drive. I just didn't feel like it really. It was very much like a kind of want to get this out of the way kind of feeling. But yeah, for the most part, this is pretty much it for the race, really. This is just kind of driving in a circle, driving in an oval. And I think for this event, I used the time to kind of like, I think I did laundry, I want to say. During this event, I think I did laundry. I started editing videos for another project that's coming out after this one, so I'm very much using the time that I have effectively. But as you can see right here, like we're almost at lap 30 and the car is like slipping and sliding all over the place. Very difficult to control, and we're almost on an empty tank of gas. As you can see right there, we got like 3 little bars left. So I'd have to pit at some point. Yeah, it's getting uncontrollable. You'll know when I decide to pit because I take that last turn a lot slower than normal. I'm trying to get to the pits, and once you start wall riding, it's kind of difficult to get off the wall. So it's kind of important that you just kind of take it slower. And I think on lap 30, I decided to go ahead and just pit. I want to say lap 30, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, it was lap 30. Okay. So I switched to B-spec mode, as you can see. Goes into the pits, and that's pretty much it. I cut forward to the end of the race, or like the last 2 laps. As you can see, the Beastbag driver at first was losing time, but then managed to get almost 2 laps ahead of the second person in second place, which was very impressive to me. So I think he did a good job on this track, but I mean, I imagine anyone would really. This track is not very difficult to drive on. It's very much a easy track, not that difficult. And I don't know exactly how much he lapped people, but I want to say it was like 2 or 3 laps per years. Very much an easy time for this dude here. Mainly because I set him up for that, but you get the idea. It's a very easy endurance event, really. And then on lap 100 of 100, that's pretty much it. Almost like 50 minutes. Oh, it's about to be 50 minutes. Yeah, it'd be about 50 minutes to get this event done, actually. It's like roughly 30 seconds times 100 will be for 50 minutes. Anyways, that was it for this event. I got almost 3 laps, 17 laps. I guess I got that wrong, like, severely. That's a very big deficit right there. And then, I don't think I paid out that much. It was only like a couple, like 200,000. It's not bad, but I mean, compared to what we got from like the Nürburgring race, I mean, it's kind of bad. But you know, it's to be expected. It's a like NASCAR track, not difficult really. And I guess a fitting prize car would be the one I got from this event, which if I remember correctly, it's the, nope, that's not it. It's the NSXR Prototype LM Race Car 02. I like this car actually. It's a very clean looking car, I'd say. The yellow rims definitely help it out a lot. I like the look of the sponsorships, I should say, on the side. The sponsorships look very clean, it's kind of like a clean finish, you know. It's very cool looking. And for these last few events, I just went through sort by power just to kind of get to like the fast cars I was getting. So yeah, I guess that explains that. Yeah, this car is very clean looking in my opinion. It's a very good looking car, really. I think it's mainly just because of the color palette, but that's about it for this episode. So next time on Gran Turismo 4, we're probably going to be doing another endurance event whenever I dub over it, so see you then.